Right now, you feel like you're here, present, aware of this exact moment as it happens. But there is a problem with that. And it is not a philosophical trick or a riddle designed to make you feel clever for 5 minutes before you forget it. It is a genuine structural feature of the universe you live in. You have never once in your entire life actually perceived the present, not even approximately. Every single thing you have ever seen, heard, felt, or thought you understood about reality was already the past by the time it reached you. And the deeper disturbance is this: the universe does not have a live channel. It never did. It only ever sends recordings, and those recordings travel in light. That single fact, once you truly follow it all the way down, does not just change how you think about time. It changes what you think reality even is. So stay with this, because where it goes is not where you expect. Most people, when they hear that light takes time to travel, file it away as a minor technicality. The sun is about 8 light minutes away, sure. Distant stars are years old in our sky, fine. It feels like an astronomical curiosity, a fun fact that applies out there, in the cold emptiness between galaxies, but not here, not in your living room, not in your actual life. That assumption is the first thing that needs to collapse. Consider what happens when you look at someone's face across a table. Light bounces off their skin, crosses roughly a meter of air, and enters your eye. That journey takes about 3 nanoseconds, 3 billionths of a second. Your brain then takes another 80 to 100 milliseconds to process that signal into something you recognize as a face. So when you feel like you are seeing someone in real time, what you are actually seeing is a portrait, a frozen record from the past, and your brain has been quietly papering over the gap your entire life without telling you. Notice how your intuition expects the delay to be so small it doesn't matter. That instinct makes sense at human scales. But the mechanism itself, that is because the mechanism scales. And when it scales, it reveals something about the architecture of everything. Here is the question that should now be uncomfortable. If you can never actually see the present, only records of the past, then what is sending those? What medium does the universe use to document itself? The answer is light, and not just as a convenient carrier. Light is the universe's only archival system. Every photon that has ever reached any eye, any camera, any detector anywhere in the history of this cosmos is a piece of stored information, a record of something that existed at some earlier moment. The universe does not broadcast the present. It cannot. It archives the past, and those archives travel outward at the speed of light, and we intercept them and call it observation. Pause and predict what happens next. If light is the only record the universe keeps, if every observation is just a message from the past arriving now, then what does that mean for the concept of now itself? Think about it genuinely before continuing. Here is what it means. There is no universal now. There never was. Einstein spent years working through this, and what he found was not that now is hard to measure. It is that now, as a single moment shared by everyone everywhere simultaneously, simply does not exist in the structure of the universe. Two observers in different locations will disagree about what happened first, and both will be correct, not because of measurement error, because the universe does not have a master clock. It has light, and light takes time, and that time is not the same for everyone. This is a simplified explanation to make the idea intuitive. Imagine two people standing at opposite ends of a long train car when a lightning bolt strikes both ends simultaneously. From the perspective of someone standing still on the platform, from inside the moving train, the light from one strike arrives before the other. So one passenger sees the strikes as simultaneous, the other sees them as sequential. The universe does not resolve this disagreement. It keeps both record. Simultaneously, that word, it turns out, belongs to the observer, not to reality. And now consider what this does to memory. Every time you remember something, you are accessing a record that your brain encoded from sensory data that was already old when it arrived. Your memories are records of records. The universe sent you light. Your eye converted it to electrical signals. Your brain compressed and stored a version of that signal. And now when you recall it, You are reading a copy of a transmission from the past. The present has never once made it into your head intact. You have probably felt this without realizing why. That strange sensation when you look at an old photograph and the moment feels both real and unreachable. That feeling is accurate. It is not nostalgia distorting your perception. It is the structure of information itself. The record exists. The moment does not. Now here is where this gets genuinely strange, and this is the part most people skip past, because it sounds too large to be personal. When you look up at the night sky, you are not looking at stars, you are looking at records. Light that left its source years, decades, centuries, or millions of years ago, and has been traveling ever since, carrying information about a moment that is gone. Some of those stars no longer exist. They burned out while their light was still in transit. And yet their record arrives, and your eye receives it, and your brain says, "Star." The universe filed that document long ago. You are just now reading it. The Andromeda galaxy is visible to the naked eye on a clear night. What you are seeing is a record from approximately 2.5 million years ago. Homo sapiens did not exist yet. The light you are looking at left its source before our species did. That photon has been crossing space for 2.5 million years and ended its journey in your eye tonight. That is not poetry. That is the mechanics of record keeping in a universe where nothing travels faster than light. Pause and predict this. If the universe only keeps records in light, and light takes time to travel, what does a distant civilization see when they look in our direction right now? They see the past. Depending on how far they are, they might be watching the last ice age. They might be seeing a planet with no cities, no satellites, no radio signals yet. Our record is still in transit. The version of Earth they observe, if they observe it at all, is not the version that exists now. The universe has already archived it. We just have not received confirmation. Here is one of the most concrete examples of this principle mattering in everyday life. GPS satellites in orbit experience time differently than clocks on the ground. Slightly faster due to weaker gravity, slightly slower due to their orbital speed. These are real, measurable offsets. If engineers did not correct for them, your GPS would drift by kilometers every day. That correction is built directly on the understanding that information, including time itself, does not flow the same way for everyone. The universe's record-keeping system is not neutral. It depends on where you are, how fast you are moving, and how deep in a gravitational field you sit. And there is another class of records the universe keeps that most people have never heard of. And they are beautiful. Muons are subatomic particles created when cosmic rays slam into the upper atmosphere. They are unstable. They decay in about 2 microseconds. By any simple calculation, they should not survive long enough to reach the ground from where they are created. And yet they arrive. In large numbers, constantly. Because from the muon's perspective, time is running slower. The universe's record of that muon's lifespan is being written in a reference frame where time ticks differently. The muon lives long enough because its clock and our clock are not synchronized. The record the universe keeps of a muon's life is not the same record we would write for it using our own clocks. The universe does not have one clock. It has as many clocks as there are moving, gravitating things, and it keeps records for all of them simultaneously, in light. Most people learn this and assume it means reality is somehow fuzzy, uncertain, relative, soft around the edges. That is a misconception worth correcting firmly. What relativity actually says is the opposite. Reality is extraordinarily precise. The speed of light is not approximate. It is fixed, absolute, and identical for every observer in the universe, regardless of their motion. It is the most reliable constant ever measured. The universe does not waver in its record-keeping. It is rigid. It is the human assumption that everyone shares one timeline that turns out to be the soft, imprecise thing. And notice what this means for cause and effect. The reason causes always precede effects. The reason you cannot receive a signal before it is sent is that light is the speed of causality. Nothing can influence something else faster than light can carry the record of that influence. The universe's commitment to its own archive system is so total that it builds the arrow of time out of past and future are not abstract ideas. They are defined by what records light has already delivered and what records are still in transit. Here is the thing about all of this that tends to arrive slowly, like a light from a distant source. You are not cut off from reality because information takes time. You are participating in a universe that found the only consistent way to share information across space and time, without everything collapsing into contradiction. Light being the archive, light being finite, fixed, and universal, is not a flaw in the design. It is the design. A universe where information traveled instantaneously would have no consistent past. Causality would dissolve. Records would arrive before events. The very concept of sequence, of one thing happening and then another, would have no foundation. The universe keeps records in light because light is the only thing that can be equally old and equally fast for every single observer, everywhere, simultaneously. That is not a limitation. That is the architecture of a reality that holds itself together. So when you feel the present, when you feel this exact moment, crisp and immediate and real, understand what you are actually experiencing. You are a reader. You are intercepting records. Your brain is an archive terminal, assembling a story of now from documents that are always already the past. And the author of all those documents, the entity doing the filing, is a universe that committed billions of years ago to writing everything down in light and sending it outward at the only speed that makes consistency possible. You have never seen the present, but you have seen something stranger and more astonishing than the present. You have seen the universe's memory delivered to you precisely at the speed of its own record. Every moment you observe is a message. Every photon is an archive, and the present you feel, that vivid immediate now, is the most elegant illusion a structured universe has ever constructed from the only raw material it had to work with. Reality is not hiding from you. It is mailing you everything it has. It just takes time. And that is not a flaw in reality, it is its definition.